In this video, I will show you how you can save clipboards, or in RadarOpus called the analysis, to the patient file. So there are several situations. Let me explain first the following. I have no patient open, so this is my list of my patients, but there is no patient file open. Let me close that. So I take a few symptoms into a clipboard. I can do that here in several ways. By using this button, I can use drag and drop. So for example here I drag one to clipboard number 2, and I can also do that with the keyboard. For example here plus, and put it into clipboard number 3. Now you right mouse click on one of the clipboards, it doesn't matter which one, because the whole set of clipboards are being saved. I right mouse click and I select here Save the Analysis, and on Mac this is also Command S, and on Windows Control S. So I select Save the Analysis. Then there are a few options. You can save the analysis to an existing patient. You can save the analysis to a new patient. And there are two other options. One is that you do not save it in the patient file. It's just a long list of the saved analysis. And you can export a file, which you can send to a colleague who can import it again. So I select here the option Save to a new patient. Then I only need to enter the first and last name, and if you want also the birth date. And here's an option if it's a veterinary patient or not. So let me type here a name, Linda. On the keyboard I press the tab toets, the tabulator toets, and I do Woods, and I press the tab, and I can select the date, for example 06/08/2005. And the format of the date depends on how you have set this in your computer. So this can be European date or USA date. And I click on Save. If I now look on the list of patients, I see here that Linda Woods has been added. But the patient file itself of Linda Woods is not open. So let's do another situation. Let me just close this. Let me clear here the clipboards with the right mouse click, and I say clear all clipboards. The next situation is that you take symptoms in the clipboard and you want to save it to an existing patient. So let me take again a few symptoms. So I have here 2 symptoms in clipboard number 1. I do right mouse click, then I select Save the Analysis, and I select Save Current Analysis to an existing patient. Now you see here there's Linda Woods. If I select only the name, so if I click here you can see there's one consultation, but I do not select the consultation date, I select the name. So what happens if you select only the name? If you save it, so I click here on Save, a question comes. You have selected only the name, not the consultation date. Do you want to create automatically a new consultation? I select here Yes. So let's open now that patient. So this is my patient file, and I open here Linda Woods. I single click on it. Then the question comes, there is already a saved analysis for this patient. Do you want to recall the last analysis? If I say yes, you will see that it recalls those symptoms, and it opens also the analysis, and this is the patient file. So you see here I have the first consultation, the second consultation, and this is the overview of consultations. So you see here that for consultation 2, you have 2 symptoms, and for consultation number 1 you have 3 symptoms. If I want to recall this analysis, I just single click on it, and you see it recalls those 3 symptoms. If I open again the patient file, and if I click on this one with the 2 symptoms, I single click on it, and it recalls those 2 symptoms. So let me do that again, but slightly different. Let me close the patient file. Let me close this here. I take again some symptoms. Doesn't matter. For this example, I take here a few symptoms. I have 4 symptoms in clipboard number 1. I right mouse click on one of the clipboards and I select Save the Analysis. And now for Linda Woods, I click here and I see that there are 2 consultations. One on 12/23 and one on 12/25. If I select one of the consultations, so this is the last one, and then I select Save, this analysis will be saved to that consultation. So I select here Save, and for that consultation there is already an analysis saved. So the program asks you, do you want to overwrite that one or create a new one? I select here create a new one. So if I now open that patient, so I click here on Linda Woods, then the question comes, do you want to recall the last analysis? Let me say no. So if I click on this icon, it shows you the overview of the consultations. And you see here that for consultation number 2, there are 2 analyses. So this one with 2 symptoms and this one with 4. And for the first analysis, there is one saved with 3 symptoms. Okay, let me close this. Let me close this. Now let me show the next situation. The patient comes in and I first recall that patient. So I open the patient list and I want patient Linda Woods. So I type WO, there is Linda Woods. I single click on it and the question comes, do you want to recall the last save and analysis for this patient? If I say no, the symptoms are not recalled into the clipboards. So I have now here Linda Woods open, and this is consultation number 1 and this is consultation number 2. So in the overview, you see here that for consultation number 2 there are 2 analyses saved, and for consultation number 1 there is 1 analysis saved. So let me first create a new consultation. So to make it clear, I say this is consultation number 1 and this is consultation number 2. And I create a new consultation. So add a new consultation via this button. I click and a new consultation is added, and I just type here 3 to make it more clear. And the previous consultations are here, and you can scroll through them with the arrow keys. Okay, I have now consultation number 3 open. This is the tab of the patient. I go to the tab of the repertory and I can take new symptoms. So let me take here a few symptoms. Let me take a lot to make it more clear that this is a different one. So let me take a few more. So I have here 6 symptoms. Now the patient tab is here. I open it and you can click on this icon of the disk to save it, or if you move within the patient file to a different window, it will be saved automatically. So if I click here on the administration tab, you see that this button has become gray, indicating that it's been saved. And what happened? Let me click here to the consultations again. If I click here on the overview, you see that for consultation number 3, the clipboards or the analysis with 6 symptoms have been saved automatically. So I go back to the consultation text editor. So let me show you the next situation. I close here the patient tab. I close here the list of patients, and I start as follows. So now the patient enters. It's a new patient, and I first create a new patient. So I click on this sub button. On Mac it's a bit difficult to see. I click on it and I select create a new patient. And on Mac it's Command N, and on Windows it's Control N. So I click on create a new patient. Then the question comes, do you want to go to the administration or immediately to the consultation? And you can select if it's a human or veterinary case. So if you are in a hurry and you click on consultation, you go immediately to the consultation. Now what happened? Let me open here the list of patients. For this new patient here, this is the patient tab. So for the first name, the time has been selected, and for the last name, the date has been selected. So if I want to change that afterwards, I can click here on the administration, and then I can enter the correct name. So let's say here, for example, Bill. I press on the tab or the tabulator key on the keyboard, and I enter the last name, Johnson, and I press on the tabulator and I can enter the birth date if you want. So let's say that is 02/03/2060. And then I can go to the consultation tab. You see here that you can enter as few or as much information as you want. So you can have all these tabs closed or you can have them open. So minimum required is the first name and the last name. I click here on the consultation tab. And I can enter here, for example, let's say this is an acute consultation. Then I can go here to the repertory. I can take my symptoms. Then I open here again the tab of the patient. And I can press on the disk to save it. It saves not only the patient file, but it also saves the set of clipboards, the analysis, to this consultation date. So I click here on the disk, and if I view the overview, there you see that this analysis with 2 symptoms has been saved. So let me explain just a few things of the patient file itself. So I go here back to the icon of the consultation text. This is the last consultation. This is consultation number 1. If I want to enter the prescription for this consultation, I click on this icon and I can say arsenicum. I press on the tabulator key. I say the potency is a 30. Press again on the tab and I can say this is a Korsakoff. And posolity, I can say, for example, one dose. Okay, I click here to save it. So if I would open Bill Johnson again the next time, so let me do that. So the patient comes in, Bill Johnson. I open my list of patients. I single click here on Bill Johnson. And the question comes, do you want to recall the last saved analysis to this patient? If I say yes, you see that the symptoms are recalled into the clipboards. Okay, this is the patient file tab. Here is the repertory. Here is the analysis. So in RadarOpus, you always keep on moving between these tabs. So this is a follow-up consultation, and I click here, add a new consultation. So let's type here follow-up. Okay, This is the previous consultation. So you see that I had recalled the symptoms of the previous consultation, and I want to add a few symptoms to it. So let me take a few more symptoms. Okay, I have now 4 symptoms. I go to Bill Johnson. If I move now within the patient file to a different window, it will save automatically the patient file, and the set of clipboards are being saved automatically to this consultation. So let me enter here the remedy, the prescription, and I repeat again, arsenicum, press on the top, A30, press on the top, and Korsakoff, I press on the top, and I say, okay, 1 dose. And I can save it here again with a click on the disk icon, or I can move back to any other window within the patient file, and everything is being saved. There's a lot more to explain about the patient file, but that will be done in another video. I would like to remind you that via the button Help, there's a RadarOpus manual which can be opened. And in the manual are many other tutorial videos. You can also go to the website www.radaropus.com, and there are also many tutorial videos.